A couple days ago, I made a video asking people to leave a comment or a question for me to reply to in this video, and I got a few replies. Normally when I do these videos, there's about 50 or so comments that I gotta answer, and this time there's about triple doing the math, so if this video is an hour long, you know why? I nominate just getting the f into it. I already know I'm gonna be filming this for the next few hours. Let's get going. Hi. What's up? Should I blow my life savings on automobile? Yeah, that'd be funny as hell. What's your favorite bug? From this angle, probably you. Are Crocs just muzzles for your dogs? I'm gonna fucking kill you, I think. Babies taste better than average adult human flesh. I've never eaten a baby, so I'm just gonna take your word for it. How well can you skibbity? What the fuck is wrong with you people? How do you get 14 werewolves behind a dumpster if there are no Waffle Houses in Canada? See, this, I don't, why do I do this? Why do I do these comment videos? I already know what half the comments are gonna be, you fucking assholes. What's your favorite dinner food? Entirely depends on what I feel like physically doing and or how depressed I am. What's your regular Taco Bell order? On the rare instances I do have Taco Bell, I normally go for the 2 soft shell beef thingy-mafucks, get that fountain drink and the supreme fries, because I'm a giga chad, and that's normally about it. Unless I'm feeling extra hungry and then I'll get a chalupa. Guess what? What? I don't think this format really works like this. Are there any bigger projects you plan on doing? I have a want to do bigger projects, I don't necessarily have any plans. With the new acloudyskye album that came out, I definitely want to try doing a music video, especially considering that now for VR Chat Plus members, we have like the whole dolly functionality thing, which is very fucking cool. I am still working on the studio space, and by that I mean I keep thinking I should work on it, and then I work on it for 5 minutes, and then I stop because I hate Unity. And do you want to get a suit, or you start trying to save up money for it? I do want to get one at some point, that'd be fun. It's on like my lower list of priorities. It's not like, you know, a necessity. Man, it sure does smell like a no. Not again. Twinks or bears? Bears all the way, and I'm not having this argument again. Do you know how pineapples grow? Question mark, upside down, question mark. I've never actually thought about that. Hold on. Okay, I gotta say, watching a pineapple grow, pretty fucking weird. I was watching a time lapse, it looks like a goddamn alien breaking out of containment. Wednesday, October 28th, 2037. Is that when I die? Can you make it faster, please? I can't do 12 more years of this. What size fingers you rocking? Sausage. Please agree with me that Burger King is good. Oh, you're gonna be very disappointed, I'm sorry. Burger King's not bad, it's just the definition of McDonald's at home. Burger King is the shit that you get when it's 3 AM and all the bars are closed and you just want to try and stave off the hangover as much as you can, so you just shove your face full of greasy food. It gets the job done and it's cheap. Those are the things that Burger King is going for. It taste is not one of them. Have you read the BMZ comic by Nanif? You are definitely Zoomer. I want you to know I read this comment before I started filming and I looked up who Zoomer is and I am offended. Do you like Avatar? Are we talking like the Airbender or the James Cameron tech demo? I'm pretty indifferent towards both. If I had to pick, probably the Airbender, just because I feel like I have more of a grasp on the general what the fuck is going on. And on top of that, it's very fucking pretty. Please bring back 2D animation. I'm begging. How do you know if you're a furry? I mean, you just kind of know, honestly. Everyone's got different definitions, but I think the only real criteria is that you like anthro shit sometimes. Like, that's really it. Respond to the next comment via interpretive dance. Nah, I'm good. If you were a beaver, what would be the best place to build a dam? I don't know, there's plenty of bodies of water you could... Should I start smoking weed? Joke answer is 100% yes. Roll up that ganja, my brother. Real answer? It's entirely up to you. It's entirely dependent on if you think it's something that will be beneficial for your life and if the pros would outweigh the cons. I normally do edibles, so I can't really attest to smoking, but I know from experience of edibles, you want to start a little bit small and then work your way up. Don't immediately do a double dose the first time you try it, because that's how you meet God. I'm not ready to meet God yet. I have a lot of shit to answer for. Me picking this world for this question was entirely happenstance, by the way. On a scale of -3 to pineapple, what's your favorite color? Okay, are we just doing like random equals funny? Would you rather have $500,000 immediately or $500,001 but you get the money in 5 minutes? I do the 500,000 instantly. I'm impatient. Can you ask me a question? Do you want me to? What would your pro wrestler name be? Mine is Claxton C. Goodbody. I know I'm gonna regret this, but I'm not creative enough to come up with one, so if you have an idea for my pro wrestling name, let me know. Possible Fam Jam / Campfire community collab in some video game VRC. I don't know what Fam Jam or Campfire is. Is that like an organized thing, or are you saying I should like do a community event and then like name it after this? I've always been wary of doing some kind of community stuff because I'm worried about people getting like too attached to the image of me that they have in their head. I feel the need to remind people on occasion that I both don't know them and I'm not really interested in knowing them, which is not a dig at you, and I feel like I've made that pretty clear in my past videos. I just have a lot of friends IRL. I have a fine social life that's not tied to YouTube, and I'm just not interested in expanding that shit. At least not right now, and especially not with people who found me through my YouTube channels, because I don't know, man, I'm gonna go on a whole fucking parasocial rant again if I don't stop myself. Even though some some people in my audience I think are pretty cool. I just don't want to have any like false pretenses set up about our relationship if we ever do a community thing. Like, you know what I mean? It's a weird balancing act, and I'm awkward as shit. Now that said, there might be a fun way to do it though. I was considering doing like a Jackbox stream or something like that down the line and turning that into some kind of a video where like people who are watching will be able to jump in and do whatever the fuck. So maybe I'll do a community thing at some point. I don't know. Life is a blur. And Philbus, I trust. What the fuck is a Philbus? Hold on. Ah, look at him. He's a little guy. I am a fan of Dr. Nowhere stuff. I'm surprised I haven't seen this dude before. I would trust him too. I trust him with my life. Rank your top 5 E6 tags. So 5, 4, 3, and 2 would all be hand holding, and then the top one would be getting on my knees to pray to the Lord. What place is the best chicken nuggets and why is it Wendy's? I actually haven't had chicken nuggets from Wendy's in ever, I don't think. I'm gonna get Wendy's chicken nuggets tonight, and then I'm gonna add an addendum being like, this is what I be thinking about my thoughts. Just had a couple Wendy's nuggets for the first time ever, and they are pretty good. Might have to try some more before I say they're the best, but they good. Do you miss doing the one vid a week, or is it freeing not to be stuck to a schedule? I definitely don't miss having to do a video a week. I like how I was able to take off a week to work on like DJ shit and like working on the studio space and everything. I wouldn't have given myself that luxury if I was still in the middle of trying to do this challenge. But I feel fine doing it now, because I mean, the whole point of the challenge was to prove to myself that I have the potential to do this, and I proved it to myself. I consider that a dub. So now I don't have to feel bad if I miss a week, because I know that I'll still have the drive to keep making more shit every single week, even if I happen to miss something. How do you come up with your username? What's it like living as a gay dude in Canada? I talked about it a bit in this video, but basically it's not terrible. I would say it's definitely better than most places right now. It just kind of depends on where you are though. I know Toronto, from living there for a couple years, is gay as shit. Most places in Canada, in my experience, are pretty accepting, but you know, always gotta be cautious. Knock knock, who's there? See, it still doesn't work. Do you prefer potatoes baked or raw? Who the fuck is the maniac eating potatoes raw? Can you give me an in-depth explanation of Smith charts and the telegrapher's equations? Please, I have an exam on this and I forgot how to do them. I was going to have a bit here where I do some rudimentary research on Smith charts and telegraphing equations or whatever you said, and it apparently has to do with like radio engineering and transmission lines, and as far as I'm concerned, those are magic, so I'm not going to do this. What is your thought process like when choosing a topic and subject to rank by how gay it feels? To be honest, a lot of it is just vibes. For the video game consoles one, I don't even remember how it came up with it. I think I was just like, wouldn't it be fucking stupid to rank a bunch of boxes by how gay they are? And then I did that. I think the president's idea was actually recommended to me by my dad when I was visiting for Christmas. I was going to do a historical figures one, and maybe I'll still do that, but I figured presidents would be a good starting point since everyone gives a shit about America, but no one really cares about anyone else. I was tempted to do one for prime ministers, but like, who fucking knows who the prime ministers are other than like Trudeau, because everyone clowns on him on Twitter. Thoughts on Cynthoni? I was telling to a friend recently that I'm pretty sure the Venn diagram of Cynthoni fans and fans of me is a circle for some reason. But I love the new stuff. The Cynthoni Part 1 EP was actually on my list of the best albums of the year, even though it wasn't really technically an album. The Draining Love Story Reimagined, I don't hate it. Like, it's really good. I still listen to it regularly. I just kind of wish that the first full length we got from them isn't a remake of something that they made 5 years ago. The Long Division cover, though, I'm unequivocally a simp for. I'm pretty sure this person has been the closest to ever getting me to like Vocaloid. Thoughts on Sleep Token? I've never listened to Sleep Token. Let me fix that right now. Hold on. Okay, just listen to Take Me Back to Eden for the first time. That goes pretty hard. Sleep Token gets a W in my book. I'm gonna have to check out the rest of their shit though. Have you heard of acloudyskye's new album? I have. Genuinely, I think it's some of his best work yet. I absolutely love it. Bones, Basin, and Spill are all fantastic tracks from it. I love Shoots as well, even though the beginning keeps jump scaring me. Rate every track. Here's my ranking in order. I'm too lazy to do that right now. What would you rate this song? Here's a bunch of letters I can't pronounce. Hold on. I dig it. I don't know how much I can really play because of copyright, but I think it's very cool. It definitely evolves quite a bit. Matter of fact, every single song you've been hearing under my voice so far has been a different section of the song. That's how much it changes, and it's interesting, and I like it. Win Bear Camp. Bear Camp's right there, motherfucker. What do you mean? You do any hiking? I've walked through a forest sometimes. I've never been too far from civilization to call it hiking. You can always have too much of a good thing. I prefer my dosages of the outside world to be in, like, small hits. What's your opinion on modern discourse online and different topics? Things such as media literacy, hostile disagreements, that sort of thing. What kind of advice do you have for someone who's struggling with the wants to learn from their blah, 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 blah? We're gonna sit down for this one. Actually, hold on. I had a lot to say on this, more so than I could reasonably fit in this video if I had taking up like a third of it. So I put a cut of it on Patreon. That's about 8 minutes long. You can check that out if you want. But if you don't, then the next 2 minutes is just gonna be the summary of that. Speaking very clearly and delicately, so I make sure what I'm saying is getting across. I'm both critical and sympathetic. I'm going to use your word horrifying. Oftentimes, a lot of people who have horrifying beliefs like that either get them from family, or more recently, they get them from an online pipeline of some kind. Maybe you accidentally clicked on Ben Shapiro's face and now all of a sudden you're a Nazi. I don't know your life story. And obviously, those beliefs can go on to harbor more resentment and hatred for people, and they can even lead to fucking terrible shit. But at the very start of it, I genuinely think that people are just victims of the culture and the online rabbit holes that they've unfortunately found themselves in. And I think one of the first steps is recognizing that. Depending on how long you've been down this rabbit hole, hate can take a while to truly unlearn. I realize the sentiment is used in memes a lot of the time, but I truly do believe it. You have to listen to the voices of people who you are building preconceptions of in your head. No single person is as one-dimensional as their race or their ethnicity or their sexuality or their gender. That's just not how it works. In order for people to really slip those horrifying beliefs into their heads, that's what you have to think. You have to disregard their humanity. My advice for you would be what I try to do oftentimes if I find a situation where I'm pretty sure it's clear cut and dry, but I don't know for sure. I sit my wet ass down and I listen. I take everything in. I always try to leave a little bit of space in my fucked up skull for opinions from outside sources, from like other people. So that way I always try and get a clearer picture of what they're going through, as opposed to just my own reservations about what I think they are. The world's a beautiful place with a shitload of worldviews, and sometimes people with malicious agendas try to make you think that it's a lot smaller and a lot more reductive than it actually is. But it's not, and it's important to acknowledge that. The last thing I'll say is that if you're coming from a place where you've had these sorts of beliefs before, and you realize that they were wrong and understand why they were wrong and are actively trying to improve it, you're not a bad person. Like, just straight up. You're a person who has a little bit of work to do, obviously, but I'm not gonna call you the worst person ever if you've realized that your past actions were morally wrong to some extent and are willing to listen and try to fix them. So always keep an ear open. Try not to be too reactionary unless it's a blanket statement about a group that is stupid. And just keep trying to expand your knowledge and maybe meet some new people as well. Me personally, back when I was in college, I looked up some stuff about being transgender, and I was like, okay, so this is a thing that happens sometimes, but I didn't really understand anything about it at all. It wasn't until my 4th year in college when I actually had a friend who started transitioning, and then she was telling me some stuff about it, and I'm like, oh, that's what that is. It can be as simple as that. Just meeting people who you don't have much experience with and understanding their worldview, understanding their story, realizing that nothing is ever black and white. I hope this has been helpful at all. I've been talking for like 20 minutes. I wonder how this is going to edit down to. You got cheese? Yeah, but it's all mine. You're not getting any. Favorite letter of the alphabet? 4. What does gay taste like? I don't know what to do with this. What are you? I have like multiple jokes and I can't say any of them without getting age restricted. So, you know, you use your imagination. Which mood do you resonate with more? A night drive on a city freeway at night surrounded by street blah, 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 blah. Both. Both is good. If I had to pick one right now, I would take night drive in the city freeway. I feel like that would look very pretty, very sparkly. Are there any changes or updates you made to your Sona at the moment? I don't think so. I mean, if there were, I'd just do them. I still have an nagging voice in the back of my head telling me maybe I should make the face like more duotone instead of just having it be a flat gray, but I've experimented with a couple different designs, and whether it's through my lack of artistic ability or just me realizing that I don't like it, it's just never stuck. What are your thoughts on Sir Timothy Dexter, the dumbest rich person to ever live? You're gonna be really surprised. I can't tell if this is a joke or not because we literally did a podcast episode about this. But it's such a niche subject for it to not be like a joke about how I already talked about this in the past, but it also comes across so genuinely, I can't tell. But to sum up my thoughts, he's a Giga Chad. I fuck with it. Except for that time he beat his wife. That wasn't very cool. Last night, I dreamed about going into a subway bathroom, and it was all urinals, and there were some people using the urinals, and then they all turned their head at me at the same time, and they were all Elon Musk, but fucked up and distorted for some reason. They all shouted, pay $8 a month for Twitter Blue for 10 minutes, and then I woke up. So how are you doing? Better than you, apparently. What the fuck kind of a dream is that? What do you dig about knowing you were talking to an audience of furries? I mean, I don't know. Am I supposed to dig something? I feel like I feel the same way that I would if my audience was normal people. The fact that I have an audience at all is still weird to me. That's unrelated to what you fuckers are. Krita, Mogs Gimp, Linux, Mogs Window, Open, Sussy, Mogs Ubuntu. I don't know what the word Mog means. I'm assuming that means it's better than something? I also snuck into an airport alongside 3 of my friends in order to cut across town to get a PS4 for my friend, and when we arrived at this dude's house, we learned that the dude is over in Seattle for the week. Okay, what do you want me to do with this? I mean, like, it's interesting. It's a kind of a funny story. Did you get to keep the PS4? I mean, you could just hide it from him. Get mogged, nerd. I'm so glad Canada won the 4 Nations NHL tournament. I don't know what you're talking about, but me too. How about your local sports team? I don't know who they are. They could be fine for all I know. I just don't give a shit. Out of the 52 videos you did for your challenge, which was your favorite and which was your least favorite? My favorite? Probably either the Year of the Cup music video that I did or the review of Ferality Umbra. I quite enjoyed editing both of those. For my least favorite, I'm trying to think of something, but it's so hard because I'm just so perfect. Oh wait, no it's not. It's the one I fucking made with AI. I still hate thinking about the fact that I made that video. It shattered my worldview of what you people come here for, which I guess was good in a way. Now I know kind of more what to put my focus on, but it's like, That was also the video that put me in a bit of a shit mood for the first couple days in Costa Rica because I was just like checking the channel and seeing people commenting on a video and engaging with a video that I didn't really make. A little bit of an L move from me, but you know, lesson learned. And that's it. That's the whole video. Thank you so much for your questions and comments. It really means a lot. But that's it. That's the end of the video. Don't pay attention to the runtime. There's nothing else in this video. There's no reason for you to stay here. You can click off, do whatever you like. There's nothing else that I have to do. There's no other obligations that I have. The rest of the video is not there. It's not real. It can't hurt you. Just look away. This is the end of the video. I said this is the end of the goddamn video. I have made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment. This is Eigen Rovac, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. They left a comment on my last comments video being like, I should send you every single question I got for my 50 subscriber AMA for funnies. I had actually already finished shooting it at that time when they commented that, so I just replied to them and I was like, yo, I already shot this, but feel free to send it in the next comments video because that would be funny. And then I sent that comment out and I immediately forgot about it. They did not. Just my luck to find a comment from them containing every single comment that they got for their AMA, and then when I put it into a spreadsheet, it goes up to like 200 rows. But a promise is a promise. If they're committing to the bit, so am I. Did you enjoy Furpock? I don't know what that is. How long have you been a furry for? Since like, essentially my entire life, but I didn't actually design a Sona or anything until I was 2018. Till the year was 2018. I was not 2018 years old when I made a Sona. Did you take a break from the fandom several years back? I've tried to take breaks from this shit before, but you know, somehow I always get dragged back one way or another. What are some of the biggest changes in the furry fandom over the years? I don't fucking know. I'm the wrong person to ask about this motherfucker. I'm not involved in like the fandom or community side of things literally at all, like not more than I need to be. Not intentionally or like it's an act of malignant defiance against like the culture. I just don't care. I enjoy being woof. I enjoy being fluffy. That's about it. What's something you missed from the mid-2000s? What's something you missed from the mid-2010s? It'll be interesting to see what they said to this, because I think we're about the same age, but I don't know what they would have said. The mid-10s specifically are a little bit weird, because I feel like, because that was when I was starting college, so I feel like I was learning a bunch of shit about myself. Probably the biggest thing I miss is having a lot of friends who are physically close to me. Like, I met a lot of friends from college, but most of them have either just exited my life willingly, or we've just grown apart, or they're physically, like, in another country, or, like, hours drives away. So I miss having more of a sense of, like, physical community, as opposed to now. But this community's nice. What's something new about the fandom you like? What do you mean new? What? I feel like it's not like something like, you know, what's something new about the manga community? Because then you can point to like a new anime or a manga or whatever the fuck that's like new and that the fandom like revolves around. But is there an equivalent of that for furry shit? Where did you get your name from? Reference earlier. When did you decide upon a husky for your character? I know this question wasn't intended for me at all, but I really need to reiterate the fact that I am not a fucking husky. Do you think your species will change over time? I don't know, probably not. I've loved wolves since like, as far back, since I was like single digits in age. I literally did a class presentation about them in elementary school. I feel like I'm very attached to the species as a whole, so I don't really feel myself having a need to really shift from this. Even when I've experimented with like other species before, I've never felt compelled or attached to any of the things that I made there, except for this character. Why are you so cute? No, I'm not, shut up. What were the inspirations for your Sona? Slamming my head against Photoshop until it spit out something that I liked. Is it hard to get into VR chat and make an avatar? The only way that it's well, there's two ways that it's difficult. One is financially. Obviously, most avatar bases cost money, which is good. Pay your avatar creators, pay your artists. And then the other problem is that you have to use Unity, which I've never worked with a program that just hates the person using it so goddamn much. It'll just sometimes completely break for no discernible reason, and then you'll eventually just have to go restart and then revert to an older save, and then when you do that, you do the exact same thing again, and it just works this time. For no goddamn reason! So finances and using Unity are the two biggest, like, obstacles, but if you can get over them, it's pretty easy. What character or animations got you into the fandom? Oh god, I mean, Canadian cartoons had a lot of the fuckers. What made you stop being a silent fursuiter? I've never been silent or a fursuiter, so there you go. Big tail or big ears? Both. Both is good. Cats or dogs? Both is good. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? However many he feels like. He's trying his best. What's the best animal to transform into for the ultimate dance? Probably something with a lot of legs, right? Like you'd want to be able to get like a bunch of coverage on the ground, be able to do a bunch of funky shit. Maybe an octopus. That'd be fun. Or maybe a centipede. What would an anthropomorphized centipede look like? That'd be crazy. Are you going to MCFC 2025? I don't know what that is. What are your top do's and don'ts of conventions? Do have a good time. Don't not have a good time, wear deodorant for the love of God. I think that's about it. I don't know. Full disclaimer, I've been to 1 IRL convention, and that's going to be 2 in like a couple of weeks. Why did I look at this like I was checking a watch? I don't fucking... Did you ever have any bad experiences attending a con or being in the fandom? Here's a hot take that I've never heard anyone say ever at all. Furries can be kind of horny sometimes, which is fine, you do you, but like, I've genuinely wondered in the past if I'm like some degree of like ace or like gray sexual or something, because it's like, dude, how do you be this horny and thinking about taking it from the back like 24/7? Not to get too serious on the topic as well, but like, there have been times where I've seen like minors just getting very into that shit, and it's like, but that's a problem in and of itself, and I think that stretches beyond the fandom. I think that's just minors having unregulated internet access. What are your memorable moments in both cons and the fandom? I talked about this a little bit in the Friendly Equinox video I did last year, but going to a rave at a convention for the first time ever opened my third eye. That shit felt amazing, dude. It was actually, I've been to a couple like different raves and like clubs and shit, but this, I probably felt the most comfortable in this one. And I think it was because everyone felt kind of like similar to each other. There was also plenty of space too. It was like a wide open room that everyone just had like the freedom to do whatever they wanted in. And I was just there and all my fucking paraphernalia dancing my ass off like no one was watching, even though people probably were, and I don't even give a shit. It was with Avian Invasion, who was playing a bunch of like trance stuff, and trance is like the most nostalgic genre for me. So that combined with just being liberated to just dance however the fuck I wanted, it is ingrained in my memory, and it's not something I'm gonna forget anytime soon, I don't think. Who inspired you to join the furry fandom? My answer to this sucked, so I'm deleting it, and instead I'm gonna say that it was this cartoon right here. This motherfucking cartoon ruined my life. What conventions do you want to attend that you haven't been to? I do want to go to Anthrocon at some point because I know a lot of people online who go there. It seems like the central hub where like everything is happening at, and I would definitely be intrigued to try it out for shits and gigs. It is a matter of finances though, and also I don't actually know anyone that I've been in the same physical space with in the past who lives in Pittsburgh or wherever the fuck it is. What is your fave con? My favorite con is when I walk up to someone and ask if I can borrow some money from them just so I can go and like do a thing, and then I can come just right back and just give the money back to them, but then I just never give it back to them. That's a pretty funny con to do. What East Coast con would you recommend for West Coast furs? I don't know. I guess Friendly Equinox. That's the only one I've been to. Do you think there's a difference between furry conventions in the US and other countries? I had no idea Eigen was this active at conventions. What the? Well, I guess that's like their whole thing. I don't know why that's surprising to me. What's your advice to someone who doesn't have any friends in the community but would like to go to one? Like to a convention? That's a little bit of an odd question. I'm not entirely sure how to answer it, because the one time I've been to a physical convention so far was with my boyfriend, so I had the friend thing on lock already. I've been to other conventions before, like with PAX and with like Comic-Con and shit, but the fur cons are generally a lot more focused on community as opposed to like pop culture and like sneak previews of shit. So everyone there is kind of there for the intent purpose of meeting other people and socializing and meeting other people in the group. So they're not that dissimilar from you. I'd say be the opposite of me and have the balls to talk to people. I'm actually very excited for the next convention because I'm going with someone who's very fucking seasoned with conventions, and they've made it clear they are going to make me talk to people. Favorite con you have danced at? I mean, I guess Friendly Equinox because I danced there one time. I don't have a favorite dance routine or style because I'm a fat ass. How does dance comp usually work? I sit down in the room with the other people, and then there's a stage, and then they get on the stage and then they dance and then we leave. That's my max exposure to it. Maybe there's more logistics in the background, but I don't know. What made you want to teach others about dance stuff? I don't. Do you think a pro and amateur division could happen for dance comps? You know what? I have no stakes when it comes to dance competitions whatsoever. Like I said, I'm a fat ass, but I do think that there should be maybe a pro and amateur division. I remember watching the dance competition at Friendly Equinox, and you could tell that there were some people there who like have been seasoned dancers who have been doing this shit so much for years and years and have like such an elevated skill level, and then the next person to go up will flail their arms around and jump a little bit for 3 minutes and then call it done. Which is absolutely no shade to anyone who might do that. I would do the exact same fucking thing and then I'd fall on my face afterwards. But it does make me wonder if there should be like different kind of like leagues for people who are like just starting to learn or just starting to get like a grasp on dancing versus people who are actually like seasoned and have been experienced in doing it for years. I feel like that might be a good idea to consider. Is there anything you've experienced with the dancer fur scene that has changed significantly? No, because I haven't really experienced any of it. What are some styles of dance you feel are underrepresented in the fandom? Is dancing that common in the fandom where stuff can actually be underrepresented? I'm gonna say the Charlie Brown. That shit looks cool. What made you become a dancer? What got you into dancing? Drugs, mostly. Who are your 5 fursuiter dance inspirations? I don't know any of them by name. There were a couple I saw at Friendly Equinox that were cool. I'll put them here somewhere. What's an area of dancing that's your weakness, and what do you do to overcome it? My area of weakness is moving at all, and to overcome it, I just give it a shot, I guess. I get off my ass. When I'm in the kitchen, I'll do some moves. I'll like slide on the floor if I'm wearing socks and shit like that. I love to imagine I look cooler than I actually do. What are your thoughts on VR chat? You're not gonna believe this. What is your favorite VR chat world? Favorite film? Probably Summer Wars. Summer Wars is so good. I don't know if I've talked about Summer Wars on this channel before, but it essentially just epitomizes what will happen if all of technology becomes owned by like one fucking mega corporation, and how if a thing in the chain breaks or like a hacker gets into it and just fucks everything up, it could very well be the end of the fucking world. It's a very good film. You should definitely check it out. Favorite anime? Can I say Summer Wars again? Is it technically an anime? You know what? Fuck you, it counts. Favorite video? Like in general? Are we talking like on YouTube, or I'm not sure if I have a favorite video. I'm looking at my head trying to decide if there's like a video that I come back to regularly. Nothing's really coming to mind. Probably my favorite video right now is Snow Day by Beckett Wagner. For those of you who don't know, Beckett Wagner is a YouTuber, horror person type thing. I don't know. He released a horror short film recently called Snow Day, which involves like teleportation and some weird, funky, liminal shit, and it's very well done, and I would definitely recommend checking it out. Have you read any xenofiction or furry? What is xenofiction? Oh, it's just like any fiction that's just told from the perspective of not a human. Okay. I haven't read any, but you know, could be interesting. What kind of music do you listen to? Any favorite bands and artists? I was bitching recently in a server about how I don't even pay attention to genres anymore. There's like a million different ways to classify like a bunch of different songs, and I just don't care. I just vibe with whatever I vibe with. The current recommendations that I'd say reflect my music taste are Cynthoni, Your Neighbors, No Mana. The new Linkin Park album's pretty good. He definitely influenced the fuck out of me in like the mid to late 2010s. You can check him out if you want, or don't. I'm not your dad, whatever. What's your favorite instrument to play? Probably piano. How long have you played your instruments? I think I was like 6 or 7 when I first started like doing guitar shit. I started producing stuff when I was 12. I think I started playing piano like more seriously when I was like 11 or 12. Seriously in quotes. I tried to do piano lessons. They didn't work with me. Pretty much everything I've done is self-taught except for a couple piano lessons that I didn't really vibe with. Could you give an example of some of your skills with said instrument? I did record this for another video a few months ago. There you go. Fun fact, since I got a YouTube partnership, that video is now monetized and I am sharing revenue with the person who wrote that song, purely because I played some notes from it. YouTube is great. What are some instruments you'd love to learn to play that haven't yet? I want to get like one of those like giant fuck off church organs, you know what I mean? All the ones that have like a million different bits and bobs that like change the sound so slightly whenever you adjust them. I would love to learn what each of those motherfuckers do, but I imagine those are expensive, so I'm good for now. What is your video creation process? It really depends on the video. For like regular rant style videos, it's literally just put the headset on, talk about whatever, take it off, edit, you're done. When it comes to stuff like ranking X by how gay it feels, or a comments video though, there's a lot of pre-pro that goes into it. Normally I put all the comments into like an Excel spreadsheet that I can just use and then color code so I know when to switch different worlds to keep it interesting. And for the gayness one, you obviously gotta like make the thumbnails, so go into the tier list, record the tier list footage, get the list of everything you're gonna rank, add all the visuals and shit in the background. In terms of the like tactile doing the thing, it can vary wildly. When it comes to ideas though, it's really just whatever the fuck shitty idea comes into my head. What is your job? I do video things. That's all I'll say. I'm not trying to get doxxed. What's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to be true to yourself and do whatever the fuck you want. And maybe do a little bit of crack. What should I expect when going into grad school? Have I been to grad school? I don't know what the Canadian equivalent of that is. Studies after the bachelor degree level. Okay, yeah, no, I've never done that. No, I'm way too stupid for that shit. What is your favorite niche math concept? You can't square root negative numbers. They just become imaginary. It's that they weren't even there. What specific section of mathematics is your favorite? The one of numbers. What is your favorite programming language? Pretty good question, since I've been considering getting back into programming actually. I haven't done much programming as of late, but from what I've seen recently, like on Doug's channel for example, I like Python. Python seems cool. I've heard C# sucks shit, so I guess that's my least favorite. How do you feel about assembly programming? Assemble this dick in your mouth. What do you like the most about physics? Gravity make thing go roll. What is your favorite theory? String. What is your favorite theory of how the universe might end? I like heat death. It's a pretty classic one. What aspects of physics would you consider to be the most fun to work with? You know, when Eigen offered to give me all these questions, I don't think they understood just how stupid I am. Why did you decide to go to grad school? I didn't. Have you ever had to learn any sort of physical chemistry? In high school, we did some shit, probably. What are some of the biggest unsolved physics problems you think will be solved in this century? How the fuck do magnets work? What is a time crystal? Is that like an actual thing, or are we just talking about video games? Oh, it's a physics thing. Oh no. Yeah, nah, never mind. Can you explain how the double slit experiment works? No. What's the most random skill you have that surprises people? I don't know if any of my skills are that surprising, to be honest. I feel like I'm pretty plain in that regard. What would your ideal day be like? I wake up, I go outside, I chill for a bit, I go back inside, I get a bunch of like work done, then I play some video games, and then I get on VR chat and get to be a wolf until I pass the fuck out. It's a sad life, but it's my life. If you could go back in time, what would you want to relive? That's a good, I don't know. I feel like relive is the wrong word just because I feel like I wouldn't have the same emotional attachment if I got to relive it again. I'd say maybe going to see the Midnight again with Jack back in 2022. That was amazing. That was the first time we got to meet up IRL, and it was just be cool when it was cool. What is your religious affiliation? Non-existent. How did I get here? Buddy, I'm asking myself the same thing. And then that was all of them. Wow. All right. Maybe this video won't be over an hour long. Who knows? And that's the end of the video. For real this time, I promise. Shout out to the patrons as always: Gordon, Hakaimono, Foxy Boy, Kalacrane95, Jargiru, Firefox, Serialsaurus, Kalos, Peace King Barbaros, Uber Bounty, Joel, Aki, SF Serval, Squall, Noodle HD, and Okari. And the YouTube channel members Johnny Bryson, Stan Dan, and Firefox. This may be the last time that I try and answer every single question, because I haven't shot that part yet, but I imagine it'll be hell.